Dr. Jen with White Wave Bodywork, and in this video we're going to go over something I call heel tapping or marching. And what we're trying to do is focus on keeping the pelvis neutral the entire time. That's what makes the exercise difficult. So a lot of times people will just march and their pelvis will just kind of rock wherever it is. So we're going to incorporate breath and pelvic neutral with the march. When we do marching, I like to do heel tapping because we can control the tapping with our calf muscles a little bit if we just put the foot down or the toes down. And I really want to focus on this area for this exercise. So this is one of my favorite beginning core exercises. And what I want you to do is try to lay it comfortably on your back, and if this isn't a comfortable position for you, you may want to move the feet out or move the feet in. Just try to make sure that it's a comfortable position for you while you're laying here. So the next thing I want you to do is look at the lower back. With the lower back, I want you to rock it back and forth doing a pelvic tilt. So this would be a posterior pelvic tilt. This is your anterior pelvic tilt. When you rock posteriorly, you can flatten out your lower back. When you rock anteriorly, you can create a little dip in your lower back. Now a lot of times what people do is they rock all the way forward and they lift their rib cage up in the front to try to create that dip in the lower back. So what I want you to try to do is rock yourself forward to create a big dip in your lower back. Pull yourself back about 20% and try to stick your hand underneath. If you have a little space underneath your lower back and it feels like, you know, a robin's egg shape back there, that's probably good. Now, keep your hand back there and try to tack the front ribs back. When you tack the front ribs down, you're activating the upper abdominal muscles and you're making sure that dip is not coming from really lifting and arching and using the muscles in your upper back. So what I want you to try to do is get that neutral spine, which is that robin's egg shape with a little bit of space so your hand can kind of slide underneath your low back, and tack your front ribs back. From there, what we're going to try to do is get into that comfortable position with your feet and lift a heel up off the ground. It doesn't have to come high. This exercise is not about the height. You can even come just an inch off of the floor. It doesn't matter. What I want you to try to do is keep this still while you do it. So let's set that up one more time. You lift up all the way, bring it back 20%. Make sure you can still slide your hand underneath and tack your front ribs back. Then lift one heel just an inch off the floor and alternate. And see if you can keep your hand back here for monitoring this dip in your low back. You don't want it to change. Now that's the movement and that's what you're trying to do. Now, take it one more step further. I want you to coordinate it with your breath. So from here, we've got everything set up. We're going to exhale on a lift. So I'm going to exhale, pull the belly button in, pull the pelvic floor up and in. On other videos, I break those three things down so that you can kind of work on them before we start movement. So if you don't know how to do those movements, go back and look at those videos first so you can repeat that and practice that so this isn't all new at the same time. Okay? So if you've got those, we're going to do a lift, exhale, pull the belly button in, pull the pelvic floor up and in. That's the Kegel action. Inhale, back down, lift, exhale, pull the belly button in, Kegel. I'm going to do a couple, filling up, inhale, exhale. So the belly moves up and down, in and out, but the low back doesn't shift. So that's what we're looking for. Now the further out your feet go, the harder that exercise is. The further in they are, the easier that exercise is. So you can do this exercise over and over again, week to week, and just keep inching your feet out. The hinge comes at the hip, not at the knee, okay? Because a lot of times people are doing this instead of this. So just think a little bit of distance up off the floor. Even if it's an inch, that's fine. We're not practicing the distance from the floor. We're practicing keeping this whole pelvis still and hinging from the hip, not the knee. All right, try it out. Let me know what you think and leave me some comments in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Make it a swell day.